Coach's Corner Cap fans, thanks for joining me here with Mike on a Monday afternoon. A beautiful day outside, 70 and sunny, I guess, probably. So today's show, we're going to review the Fort Recovery game, introduce the Anna game coming up this week, do another former players. I think this is kind of fun. I just kind of randomly when I think about guys, so we'll get into that. A couple of our players, spotlight, support staff, Matt Brunswick. I'm going to talk about him a little bit. And that'll pretty much wrap it up. So the Fort Recovery game, the Cavs win 28-14 in our first league game at home. So it was a good ball game. Wes Wenning is their new coach, a good young guy who played there and played at Ashland University and coached at Akron Hoban, who had won a couple state titles. So my guess is he was there when they maybe won one or two of those when he was coaching. But he's not even 30 years old yet. So good young guy. He's got about 50 kids out. So they have some good, really big, long, lanky, strong players. So, it was 21-14, I think, in the third quarter at one point. And so it was a tight game. And fortunately for us, we pulled it out. I want to thank all the coaches and certainly the players. As a lot of you know, I wasn't at the game because of my son's wedding. So while I was watching it on my phone, lots of the former players that played with Brady we were all kind of watching and keeping tabs on things. So kind of nerve-wracking, right? It's probably more nervous for this game than when I'm on the field, just having no control at all. So 28-14, we have two rushers, Carson Homan, our quarterback, and Braxton Taylor both had really good days on the ground. I don't know, I think they both were around between 120, 140, and 8 for 10 passing. Carson was 8 for 10 passing, and a couple different guys, two different guys, Caden and Caleb, both caught touchdown passes, and I think Braxton had the 2 rushing touchdowns. A really good balanced attack, so we like to see that. It was a good, clean game. If you were just watching, I think there were only 5 penalties during the game. No turnovers by either teams. Fortunately, I think we definitely won the kicking battle, and so we try to win each of the 3 phases there. So Fort Recovery 28-14. So we move on to Anna, who we played twice last year. We played them in the playoffs. We knew that was we felt like that was gonna happen when we were in the same region, and we felt like we were the 2 best teams in the region. And so we finished up with a good ball game with them up at Lima Senior, I believe it was. A good game last year. They come in at 2-1. They lost to Minster the other night, but I feel like that game was really, really 2 evenly matched teams, 2 extremely young teams. So Anna lost a bunch of seniors last year. I think they have 6 sophomores starting on offense. Coach Marino does a really good job offensively of just putting in some new things and having some things that are like, how are we going to cover this or cover that? So he does a really good job offensively. And then defensively, they run a very similar defense as we do, a 3-3 stack defense with the ability to have lots of different stunts and do some different things that make it sometimes difficult for you. And sometimes they get you with all those different types of blitzes. But if you can hang in there enough and just stay the course, you can make some big plays on some of those blitzes. So we're looking forward to the game Friday. We're fairly healthy. Josh Schreier did something to his knee. He felt like it was feeling better today. I think he said the doctor felt like he didn't think it was going to be anything major, but he has to have an MRI today. And so hopefully, fingers crossed, because Josh is our starting middle linebacker and playing some tight end also when we have 2 tight ends. So hopefully Josh is going to be okay. If not, we always say next man up, and we'll move on and figure out a way to fix that deficit if we do lose Josh. Sam Rissmiller has been returning from a knee injury, so it'll be close whether he can play this week. Hopefully by next week for sure, and so that'd be great having Sammy back because he was a starting linebacker last year. So that'll be a good boost for us when he returns. So moving on, let's go support staff. Matt Brunswick, who's a 20, I don't know, probably 22, 23-year-old, just loves sports, and so he goes to all the football and baseball and basketball games, and he just likes to be involved, and so he runs what we call our end zone camera. And so he runs that from up in the press box on a joystick, I guess. I don't know that much about it, but so he does a really good job. He enjoys doing all kinds of stats and just helps out whenever he can. So thanks, Matt. Much appreciated. Former players, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I started this with the Hoyne brothers, and then last week it was Adam and Ross Homan, and so this week, I don't know, randomly one of my best friends, and that I still stay in touch with quite a bit, is Jeff Geyer and his two sons, Brady and Ryan. So the three of them have been Coldwater. Jeff has always lived in Coldwater and just retired not too long ago, along with myself. But Jeff was a really good three-sport athlete back in the day. He was a football. We wrestled, played football and baseball together those 3 years. And so Jeff never left Coldwater, so he stayed and started working right away, and has been a lifetime great member of our community. And then his sons Brady and Ryan. Brady was on the first state senior on the first state title team, was a really good receiver and defensive back. And Ryan then followed him up 2 years later with Ryan followed it up with a state title against Mooney and had a couple touchdown and just one of the iconic, I guess, catches against Cardinal Mooney when we took the lead on a great catch against the defensive back that went out to Nebraska. And there's a great picture of him jumping over and snatching a touchdown. And so Brady and Ryan were really good. Again, I think both might have been three-sport guys. So really, really good athletes, and fortunately for us, they're both living in town. I think they both have both of them maybe four children now, young kids. So it's great to have the Geyers still in town and really supporting the town and the programs, and just good fun family that's been really good for our community over lots of years. So kudos to Jeff, Brady, and Ryan and their families. And finally then, our player overview. Jake Kesson, number 14, and Carson Deuce, number 17. Carson plays special teams, 2 or 3 of the special teams for us. He's a tight end and defensive end, does not play as much as I'm sure he would like, but a great member of our team, kind of unique. We had a thing at what we call a captain's meeting, and so we're trying to find out some things about people. And so Carson has not missed a day of school since 5th grade. I think that's awesome. He has missed over the last 3 years, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 workout days all winter and all spring long, because he just plays football. So he's the guy I want to hire, someday when he's looking for a job, knowing that he's on top of things and shows up every day and does what he's asked to do. So kudos to Carson, and so really appreciate his attitude and his effort. And then Jake Kesson, who just came back last week, so we're getting him back in the swing. He hurt his ankle in the Wapak scrimmage. He got rolled up on. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I think he actually got kicked maybe by one of our players in the ankle, and so he just came back last week. He played special teams, and hopefully we can get him back in the rotation at receiver and maybe corner a little bit coming this week. He was doing well during the 7-on-7s and the scrimmages, so hopefully we get Jake back, especially he is back on a special teams, and get him back all the way healthy. So Jake Kesson 14 and Carson Deuce 17 are our player spotlights. So this Friday we travel to Anna, 7 o'clock start, and looking forward to the challenge of Anna, both of us 2-1, and obviously an important MAC league game.